Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom review. See by the title below, yes, this is on episode 13 of Boku no Hero Academia Season 3. And yup, this episode pretty much went exactly, kind of how we expected. It was going to be a much more lighthearted, kind of fun comedy episode from what we saw in the preview. And it makes sense, honestly. It makes sense considering the last two episodes were pretty damn crazy. You need kind of a, when starting a new arc, you gotta kind of take a step back and everything, bring us down from the highs of the action and the dramatics of the last two episodes, because there was a lot. So it makes sense. There's always going to be this kind of episode where it kind of brings us down to speed. You can't just go straight into the craziness of the next arc. So I was expecting this episode to I wasn't expecting to really care for it as much. It's probably just gonna be like a filler. Yes, I know it's not really a filler, but I don't really always care for the first episode back after. Maybe a little bit because you get to kind of see all the effects and after effects of what just happened, but a lot of times it's kind of just, it's always a hit or miss for me, honestly, actually, because sometimes you have these moments where it's actually really good and enjoyable and you can kind of see it relating to what's going to be happening next and stuff, and then you have certain episodes and certain series and everything where it kind of just feels like, why is this even here? It's not even needed. It serves no point. But this one kind of did. Obviously the dorms is a big thing in this next arc and everything, and kind of seeing everyone, their personalities shown in their room was pretty enjoyable and funny. So I was actually okay with it. The beginning part, it was pretty much just continuing with All Might and Izuku. The Eraserhead pretty much telling them that I was wondering how this was going to be, honestly. Were they going to get in trouble? And even though they did do something wrong, they're they're getting off the hook for it for now, which is pretty much showing, last warning guys, do not do this again, or things are gonna obviously not gonna go as well for them, but one of the big things that I had enjoyed before we went on to the whole kind of room contest thing was Bakugo, surprisingly. One of the cool things to see as, this development for every character and everything, and we've seen over the course of the seasons that Bakugo pretty much is not the most friendliest of people. Definitely a lot more just wanting to always be the best and beat everyone, especially Izuku, obviously. But it's cool to see how we've seen the growth and change, that he actually grows a bond with Kirishima, with the whole thing of him. The only reason that he jumped up that last time was, of course, because of Kirishima. If it was just Izuku trying to grab him, that would not have happened. But it's just cool. It's cool to see that kind of change and difference for him, considering the fact that everyone else, it wouldn't be like that. And of course he ends up going up to him. Of course he has to distract everyone by making Kaminari go into stupid mode, but nonetheless it was still cool to see him like go and give the money and say thank you and everything, pretty much thank you, in his own way, even though Kirishima at first was like, what is this kind of thing, what's going on, but also it's kind of like Bakugo really is a tsundere, honestly, from in that kind of case. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that ship Bakugo and Kirishima was probably having a field day with that scene. But yeah, after that, like I said, it was pretty much just straight on into the room contest, which, like I said, was pretty damn enjoyable because you can kind of guess when you hear the name, kind of guess how their room is going to be. And while some were kind of not as expected, most of them went pretty much as expected. Tokoyami, super dark room. Aoyama, super bright room. Momo was pretty funny and hilarious as well because, yeah, she is a rich girl and she just goes like, oh, I don't know why my furniture was like normal size, but I guess the room is too small. And I'm over here like, no, your big ass bed, your furniture is gigantic, the room is fine. Literally her bed took up majority of the damn room, and I was just cracking up at that part because that is so her. And that's why I love seeing all these, because they really show who the person is in each of the rooms. Like, that is exactly them. Izuku had a bunch of All Might stuff. Ida had pretty much like super organized. The part that helped made me laugh in that scene in his room was that he had damn rows of glasses. Yes, it makes sense with what he said about them breaking everything, but I was just like, it's just so random and just so Ida, honestly, that it was just hilarious. And then of course you had other people's rooms. You had Mineta being creepy as always. You knew that that was going to happen when they were going to talk about going in the girls' room and everything. That part when they're like, ooh, the last person on this floor is, oh, it's Mineta, and Mineta's just over there peeking through his room like, come in, come in. I was like, hell no. I would not take a step into that room. I'm pretty sure no one wants to go in there. The horrors in there is probably just too insane for anyone to see, especially any of the girls, obviously. And it came to the point we even saw more of his pervertedness when we go to Hagakuda's room. Super girly, obviously, and you think, okay, that's it. That's just her showing her room. And then Mineta walks in, and he's like, ooh, plus ultra. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he went exactly straight to the pantsu. And of course, even she said that. And I gotta say, Hagakuda, we've seen her countless times before and everything, but in this episode, I don't know, just seeing like the way her clothes and kind of the curves and everything, she's got a nice figure. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. Mineta's pervertedness is kind of rubbing off on me a little bit. Damn it, Mineta, stop it. But I have to admit, she has quite the figure. Even though we can't see how she looks with the clothes on that she has, it definitely showed up in this episode a lot more as well. You know, but that was pretty much most of the rooms. I mean, that I had at least, you know, kind of like really just laughed at or just was surprised at or something, you know. They had Todoroki's room, which is pretty funny as well because he completely freaking remodeled the entire room. Everyone redecorated and stuff. He completely remodeled it, and it was pretty funny too because right after his room, after the craziness of that room, oh wait, actually, sorry. I was about to say after the craziness of that room, it was what's it called? Shoji's, but it was actually Sato. Sato, of course, is just pretty much he won somehow because of his cooking, which makes sense because obviously he bakes you know, the sugar rush, his power and everything. But the room I was going to talk about was actually Shoji's room because it was literally just his like, not bed, it was just like somewhere to sleep, and then just I forget what the other thing was, and literally that was it. Todoroki's over here like, oh, I didn't know you were a minimalist. I'm like, is that really the definition of minimalist? I feel like you would have a little bit more. He pretty much has nothing. He just has an area to sleep on. And then something else, like I said, I don't really remember exactly what the other thing was, but it honestly was a pretty hilarious episode to see everyone's room and kind of guess and see, you know, is it to be expected? And most of them are. Some of them were just kind of normal style rooms, which I don't know. I was kind of expecting more, like every single person's to be different. But I guess some people would just have regular normal rooms. So it kind of caught you off guard with that as well. But overall, it was enjoyable for that main reason. And then, of course, this is the part where I was like, okay, it was just a nice, lighthearted, funny comedy type of episode to, you know, bring us down from last week's arc and the last arc and kind of bring us into the new one, which of course will be with the whole, I think in the preview it showed like them trying to get their licenses and everything. So that should be exciting. I think like making, you know, their own dang ultimate moves, so creating their own moves. So that's going to be cool and exciting to see. But I did not expect there to be like any more tearjerker feelsy moments. Like, damn, they took us on the feels train right at the end with Asui pretty much laying her heart out and talking about how, you know, what she had said before in the hospital and how everything turns out and how she was kind of scared. She wanted to at least let it all out to them, but she was obviously scared and everything. She starts tearing up. Everyone else starts tearing up. I started to tear up, and I was like, I was not expecting this. This was like a complete, like, out of nowhere, just feelsy moment that, like, literally after everything that we seen before, you were just thinking the episode is going to end here. Nope. Have some feels with that enjoyment. You know, you can't just leave with the fun comedy. You got to have some feels being thrown in there as well. And yeah, that was pretty much the end of the episode. But overall, like I said, I definitely did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It was definitely funny. It was definitely awesome to see, and, you know, trying to think of each of what kind of their, you know, what their rooms were really going to look like. So had some cool things with Bakugo and Kirishima, some feelsy moments with Asui them, and honestly, like I said, I cannot wait to see how next week's episode will be, considering it'll be them making like their own, you know, ultimate moves kind of thing. So that should definitely be cool to see. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. As always, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, anime watchers only and source material readers. How did you feel about this episode? Good, bad? Feel free to comment below whatever you guys want to talk about. It's always awesome to hear your guys' thoughts as well. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. So till next time, see ya.